Hi, I'm Elizabeth and this is the Bookish North, and today I'm supposed to talk about what I've been reading this week, but sadly the answer to that is hardly anything. I had two books that was on my currently reading pile last week. We have The Years by Annie Ernaux and The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I haven't read a single page of either one. I have, however, started an audiobook, which is The Girl Who Wrote Loneliness by Kyung-Suk Shin, which is translated from Korean. I'm about halfway through that and I am enjoying it. And then I also started and read about 80 pages of The Door by Magda Szabo, but I haven't gotten really long enough in either of those, far enough in either of those, to want to talk about them. So I'm going to push that into next week's wrap-up, which hopefully will contain some finished books as well. And instead today I thought I wanted to talk about what I plan on reading in the near future, because September is time for Space Opera September, which is a new readathon, and I'm not a big joiner of readathons, but when I do join I like it to be month-long challenges, which this is, and I also like it to be things that sort of just nudges me in the direction that I already want to be going, and I really feel like reading some sci-fi at the moment. So Space Opera September is hosted by Thomas from the channel SFF 180, and he made a stellar announcement video for this that you really should go and watch, even if you don't plan on doing the readathon, because I think that's worth 10 minutes of your time. So I will leave links to that and to the Goodreads groups down in the description box. So this readathon has 4 ranks, which you will achieve by reading 1, 2, 3 or 4 books. You can of course read more than 4 books, but the ranks are capped at 4, which I really like because it makes it more accessible to people like me who might be working a bit more than full-time at the moment. So 4 books is doable in a month, and I am eager to max out the rating for this. So you also have 2 paths you can choose. You can go the Federation track or you can go the Rebel track. So if you're doing the Federation track, you start off as Space Cadet, you go to a Pilot, Wing Commander or Fleet Admiral. Whereas if you go down the Rebel track, you also start off as a Space Cadet, you move on to Privateer, Rebel Leader and then eventually Space Pirate. And I, of course, want to be a space pirate because I want to be Mal Reynolds from Firefly. I mean, who wouldn't? So, what do I need to do to get there? Well, first and foremost, I need to read 4 space opera books, and they can't be in the same series. That, as I said, should be doable in a month. And then there are also 4 or 5, depending on how you see it, challenges. And the challenges will give you spacecrafts for your fleet. I'm not going to go into what kinds and stuff. If you want to know more, you need to watch the announcement video or the Goodreads groups. But there are 4 challenges. Number 1 is to read a novella. Number 2, A, is to read 2 books by female writers. And then 2B is to read a book by a diverse author with a diverse main character or multiple important characters. And if you finish this 2B prompt, that is what will lead you down the Rebel path. So that's what I plan to be doing. Then the 3rd challenge is to read a book published before you were born, and the 4th challenge is to read a book over 500 pages. So I had a look through my bookshelves and I realized that I had very few unread space operas on my shelves. Part of that is because I am fairly new to reading sci-fi at all. I've always been more of a fantasy girl and have only really got into reading sci-fi the past 2 or 3 years. And for some reason it seems that sci-fi books are the one thing that when I buy them, I sort of immediately read them. I don't let them sit on my shelf for years, as I do with any other book. So I only had 3 books to pull out, but I just might acquire some more during this month to fill out my TBR, but we'll see. So for today I have 3 books to show you. The first is the Hexarchate Stories by Yoon-Ha Lee, which is going to be my choice for the to be prompt. Yoon-Ha Lee is a person of color. He's also queer, and I think that should make it more than eligible for this. This is a collection of shorter works that are connected to the world that we learn of in the Machineries of Empire series that starts with Nine Fox Gambit, and I absolutely adored that series, and I bought this book in London in the summer, and I've been very eager to read it since, and I've sort of been saving it after I heard about Space Opera September because I thought it would be perfect for this. And I have in fact already started. I've read about 60 pages today and I am enjoying it, but I'm guessing you'll hear more about that as well next week. And then my second pick is a book I bought in January and have been meaning to read ever since. It's Provenance by Ann Leckie. This is a standalone sequel to the Ancillary trilogy that is probably my favorite sci-fi book and series that I have read so far. So I am very, very eager to read this, but I'm also a bit scared because I've heard less great things about this book than about the others, but I know I need to read it anyways, so I might as well do it now. So that's my second pick, and this will be part of the Read 2 Books by Females challenge. And then the last book I found on my shelf, I was kind of surprised to find because I didn't really know I owned it, and it's this one, Orphans in the Sky by Robert A. Heinlein. And I have never actually read any Heinlein, despite I know he is one of the big names of Golden Age sci-fi. Judging from this cover, it should be a perfect fit for Space Opera September. It also says on the back that it's a superb space adventure classic packed with action and excitement by one of science fiction's greatest names. So that's what I have to go on. This will fulfill the read a book that was published before you were born, because this is from 1969. And it's also a novella because it's about 100 pages long. So those are the books that I have picked out for Space Opera September, and as I said, I do plan to fill out my TBR by some more books, or at least one more book that should ideally both be written by a woman and be over 500 pages. We'll see what I come up with for that, but yeah, for now I am very eager to be reading some sci-fi. And that's what I plan on reading in the foreseeable future. I'm planning to finish off some of the stuff that I have started, and then I'm also planning on reading some great sci-fi, and we'll see how I get on with that. We are sort of closing in on the deadline for my big project at work. It should be done by September the 17th. So we'll see how much reading time I have before that, but hopefully it will at least have a bit more time and headspace after that date. So fingers crossed I'll get some of these read, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye bye.